Tonight on CTV, Me+3 is back on the ASCSU agenda once again.
Then we take a look at a new drone workshop for students.
And later, the Foothills campus parking regulations are seeing some changes.
All this and more starting right now on CTV News.
Good evening, Rams. Thank you for joining us this evening. I'm Emma Iannacone.
And I'm Ryan Christ. Let's get started.
Since 2015, ASCSU has been working to implement a change to the Fort Collins Housing Ordinance, U+2. U+2 prevents more than 3 unrelated people from living in a single residence. In recent years, ASCSU has been promoting a replacement for it with a new ordinance, Me+3. Last year, they approved a total of nearly $43,000 for surveys and campaigning, including a plane that flew over campus with a banner to promote the surveys. ASCSU says their goal is to raise awareness to students rather than pushing a new policy. For more information about Me+3 and ASCSU's campaigns, you can check today's Collegian newspaper.
Drones have been taking off in more ways than one. CSU has its own drone workshop, a course designed to give students real-world experience with this new production tool. The drone workshop at CSU is in its second semester of flying.
Go ahead and take it.
And this group of students are filming an action scene for their class.
We're making the class pretty fun this semester, I think, we're actually using drones to make a promotional video for the class. And so we went out to Chrisman Field and we're basically shooting a mini movie. It's really cool to see everybody kind of have their roles. You know, everybody kind of has a vision for what this is going to look like. But we have people who are really taking on director role, people who are taking on like costumes and sound.
Tell them this is full speed. Everyone, this is full speed. Dave, can you actually move?
While this class may sound like it's all just fun and games, they are also learning the rules of drones.
I thought it was very beneficial because when I came into it, I thought it was just going to be kind of like learn how to fly a drone. And we did that, but we also learned the technical things that you need to know to pass the test to get your official drones license. And there's a lot of stuff that I would have not known that you had to do for that and know.
So really, my goal for the class is to just expose the students to all the different aspects of how these drones are being used today.
Drones aren't only being used for video production. There's a new CSU Drone Center established to help scientists with their research.
The local church in support of lockers for the homeless has been given approval by the Fort Collins City Council. However, the approval is not for 24/7 access. Last Tuesday, the City Council said the Mennonite Fellowship must provide staff supervision for the lockers from 6 in the morning until 8 in the evening. These restrictions come after concerns for safety and cleanliness in the area. Lori Davis, who led the appeal for the lockers, says she thinks these restrictions will lead to safe outcomes and more success for the lockers.
The nationwide search to find the next president of Colorado State University is in effect. The Board of Governors assembled a search committee, and the members will be in charge of designing search criteria and interviewing applicants before ultimately recommending them to the Board of Governors. The board will hire the new president according to a university press release. The committee will be comprised of staff, faculty, students, and other community stakeholders.
It's no secret parking on campus can be a pain, especially when you get a ticket. Up until now, one area of campus has been free, but that's about to change. For years, parking at the CSU Foothills campus has been relatively easy, but it will soon be transitioning to permit parking in August. CSU officials met with people using the lots to find out how to make the transition as easy as possible.
We've been out there to gather more information from the folks who work out there about what their business is, what their business needs are, what some of their personal needs are as it relates to either parking out there or getting to and from the campus.
Paying for a service that used to be free isn't likely to be a popular move, but facilities management says that the need for upkeep outweighs the convenience of free parking.
While there is no permit parking, there also is largely no mechanism to
maintain parking lots, keep them well lit, and then provide the same accommodation you'd have on main campus.
The Foothills campus doesn't have as many conveniences as the main campus. There's only one public transit bus route that travels to the Foothills campus once an hour. Officials say that increasing public transit is an option, but it would be tailored specifically to the Foothills campus needs.
A transport type service, the best one out for that location, or do we need to look at other transportation options that might lend more flexibility and more increased service?
At this time, the final plan to convert to a paid lot isn't in place. Once the details are hammered out, the public will have more input to hopefully make the Foothills campus parking transition as smooth as possible.
I'm confident that whatever is deployed out of Foothills campus will have options just like there are on main campus. It's not to say that they're going to be the same options. They may be tailored to the unique needs of Foothills campus.
Before the plan is implemented next August, improvements to the lots will begin in the summer months.
The Poudre Fire Authority responded to an explosion at an apartment complex Wednesday morning. An unidentified worker from the Seasons at Horsetooth Crossing Apartments on Wabash Street caused an accidental explosion while using a flammable spray during a repair. The worker suffered first and second degree burns. Thankfully, no other injuries were reported. PFA is currently investigating the explosion. Residents were able to return to their apartments later in the day.
A Fort Collins man has filed a lawsuit against a local King Soopers after he contracted E. coli earlier this year. Court documents allege that William Glazer was one of 200 people affected after eating romaine lettuce coming from Arizona farms. Glazer says that he purchased a head of lettuce from the North College Avenue King Soopers location and spent nearly 5 weeks in the hospital. Glazer suffered from permanent kidney damage. Glazer is one of more than 100 represented by food safety lawyer Bill Marler, who is seeking lost wages, medical, and travel expenses.
We're now joined with weather anchor Carson Porterfield. Carson,
come on in,
what was it like seeing the snow? It was very early this year. What do you think?
Yeah, you know, it's especially this time of year, right when fall has started, it's so just kind of unusual to be seeing that snow coming in, especially how it was yesterday of that on and off, that rain mixed in there. And it's actually not the last we're going to see of it. This Saturday night around 10 p.m., that same snowfall will be coming and staying till about 8 a.m. on that Sunday morning.
Oh, geez. Yeah, that even stuck up in the hills.
Yeah, it kind of scattered all across Colorado, especially in the eastern, northern side. So,
wow. Well, we appreciate you spending your part of the evening with us, but don't go anywhere because Jessica Mendoza is bringing us a live update from the women's volleyball game.
Listen, I realize that I'm not perfect, but it all really started to change because you judge me for having a problem. No one is going to know that I need help. I need help. I know that no one is going to judge me for having a problem. I realize that I'm not perfect, but it all really started to change because you listen.
Life on Mars, Nikola Tesla, clean energy, and Frankenstein. It's all part of the Big Think, the 3rd annual Fort Collins Book Festival, October 19th and 20th. More than 35 storytellers, scientists, and writers, including Andy Weir, the best-selling author of The Martian, present free writing workshop, book talks, panel discussions, and more. Information is available at focobookfest.org.
Good evening, Rams. Welcome back to Thursday Weather. I am your host, Carson Porterfield. Let's get right into those current conditions. It is currently 42 degrees outside with that sun setting about 30 minutes ago, but it's still an amazing night tonight with a little bit of cloud coverage and a little bit of that chilly fall weather. So if you plan on going outside, make sure you wear a nice coat and maybe even a scarf. Looking at today's weather, today was a little gloomy and a little cloudy, and it was the little signs that showed that fall is officially here. Thankfully, students didn't seem to be put down too much, as it is a lot more improvement from yesterday's snowy days. But it's now time for students to bring out those coats and get ready for winter. Looking at tonight's lows, it is going to be chilly all across Colorado. Looking over in the mountainside, Craig at 27, 30 in Gunnison, and 26 in Telluride. Coming over to the I-25 corridor, it's going to be 33 in Fort Collins, 37 in Denver, 35 in Colorado Springs, and 36 in Pueblo, with the hottest it being tonight is 38 in Lamar. Thankfully, tomorrow it is going to get a lot hotter all across Colorado. Looking again in the mountains, it is going to be a beautiful day over in Grand Junction at 61 with 52 in Craig, 49 in Vail, and 55 in Gunnison. Coming again over to the I-25 corridor with a beautiful 58, a gorgeous 63 in Denver, a spectacular 56 in Colorado, and a sweet little 62 in Pueblo. Well, tomorrow's forecast is going to be awesome because those clouds are gone and it's going to be an awesome sunny day with a high of 58 and minimal wind all across the day. So make sure you get out and enjoy that lovely day. Well, as most of you Ram fans know, it is homecoming week, and this weekend, the CSU Rams are going against the New Mexico Lobos. So let's take a look at the hour-by-hour forecast. Starting off in the morning at 9 a.m., it's going to start off with a little bit of clouds in the sky at the high of 45. Thankfully, by noon, those clouds are going to clear out, and that heat will rise up to about 54. At 2 p.m. is kickoff, and that temp will be staying at 54. But as the time comes down to about 4 p.m., the clouds will start coming in and that temp will drop down a little bit. And around 6 p.m., there will be a chance of rain coming in. So if you do plan on going to the game, make sure you bring your raincoat. Well, if you're like me, you're probably sick of these gloomy days we've been having these past couple days. Thankfully, this next week, all across the board, it's going to be amazing sunny days. Looking at that Monday is going to be a high of 40. Going into Tuesday, it's going to heat up just a little bit, coming into 52. Wednesday, 54. Going into Thursday and Friday is going to be a high of 59 and 61. So you have a great time to enjoy that entire week. Well, Rams, hurricane season is still in effect, and Hurricane Michael is the most recent storm to hit the states. Michael is the first recorded Category 4 storm to make landfall in the Florida Panhandle and is currently on its way to the Carolinas. Recorded winds have reached 155 miles per hour, and the storm is likely to die down by tomorrow night. Moving away from the U.S. Well, that's all I have for you. Up next, we have Jared Stratton with sports. Good night.
They said I couldn't dream. Called me a piece of trash and swore that's all I'd ever be. Said a bottle couldn't see the ocean. Give up. Go back to the dumpster. But I didn't listen. I made my way. And now, I am what I've always wanted to be.
Welcome back from the break, Rams, and a Thursday night sports show. I'm Jared Stratton, here to catch you up on everything going on in CSU athletics. The CSU men's basketball team has now been officially practicing for a couple of weeks with their new head coach, Niko Medved. The team lost 2 of their starters last year, one to transfer and the other to graduation. After all that confusion, head coach Niko Medved recruited a 3-star recruit and Colorado native from Adam Thistlewood. With this new team coming together, CTV reporters Jason Ortiz and Jessica Mendoza were able to talk to the players and coach during Media Day.
What's up, Ram fans? I'm Jason Ortiz.
And I'm Jessica Mendoza.
And we're here at Moby at Media Day for the CSU men's basketball team.
Yeah, and we're going to go around and ask the players and Coach Medved how they feel after a couple of weeks practice under their belts. So how would you say the team's kind of gelling together this year with the new coaching staff?
I think we're gelling together really well. have a lot of team dinners, activities, just different things that we do together. And yeah, we're all getting along pretty well. We're like a very close-knit family.
Oh, we're gelling great. The practice is coming along just fine. The plays that we got, it's giving us real good energy.
A lot of fun personalities, and I think we mesh really well.
We got great coaching staff, great players. You know, we all really like each other. So, you know, having a really good team chemistry and liking each other, that means a lot on the court.
What are your goals for this season as a team?
As a team, we want to win the Mountain West, conference championship. Nothing less than that.
Mountain West champion.
Mountain West championship.
Yep.
Running the NCAA tournament.
And then running the NCAA tournament. That's the goal for every year. We were a game away from it 2 years ago. Last year we had a little sniff in it, and then now let's just get it going.
Team goal is to make it to the NCAA tournament. We'll make a run in the NCAA tournament. Nothing short of that. And really, we just want to have a successful season. We want to get better as a team, individually, just overall. We just want to improve and be the best players we can be.
You always want your team to have high expectations of themselves, but I never worry about that. The only expectation I have as a coach is to somehow figure out how we can take this group of guys that we have and make them their best. How can we become the best version of ourselves? And really, that's what you do every season as a coach. Where that takes us, heck, I don't know. I really don't. I like a lot of things about this group. I know a lot of things we've got to work on. We're still figuring out roles and all those things. But I've never been one, like or different, to get caught up in that, good, bad, or whatever. I just go into it every year and say, all right, here's our crew. What can we do to try to become the best version of ourselves? And that's what we're doing.
And the Rams have a scrimmage this Friday at 9:30 in the morning in Moby Arena, and their first official game of the season will be November 7th against Colorado Christian. Like weather anchor Carson Porterfield said, the CSU homecoming game is coming up this Saturday against the New Mexico Lobos. The CSU team has been notably struggling this season, and the Lobos actually give a Rams somewhat of a chance of getting their second win. The Lobos are 3-2 in the season and have been lights out on offense, with their second lowest scoring game ever being 42 points on the season. In their first game, they put up 62 points. Now I understand these stats can be daunting, but New Mexico has the same problem as CSU, and it's that their defense is not stepping up. And despite the quarterback controversy, CSU has been putting up proficient numbers. The majority of the pressure is being put on defense for the homecoming game, and CTV reporter Brian Buck was able to speak with linebacker Josh Watson about the upcoming game.
It's homecoming, so the alumni, it's a great time to show the alumni what all the hard work we put in the off season, during the season, the mistakes we made and the mistakes that we're fixing and correcting. So it's just a great time just to show our fans and our student section and alumni that what Ram football is all about.
You've been through this homecoming process a couple of years now. What's your favorite part about it?
Just being able to play the game. When the whistle's blown, when the coin toss has been made, guys defense or offense, whoever takes the ball, just getting the atmosphere, the first kickoff, and getting ready to fly down there and knock somebody out.
Wow, knock someone out. Well, Josh Watson, if he truly does want to knock someone out, he had to bring his A game against the Lobos this Saturday. The 12-6 CSU volleyball team is coming off a strong sweep against the Air Force Falcons from last Friday and are now facing the Boise State Broncos. CTV reporter Jessa Mendoza is at the game live. So, Jessica, how's the game going?
Thanks, Jared. So it's still really early here in this match. The Rams sure are looking dominant here in this first set. They're up 21-10 on the Boise Broncos. I think definitely the key tonight is their serving. The Boise Broncos are not looking good on serve receive. They're shaking a couple back. Olivia Nicholson is playing libero today, but an interesting note is Amanda Young, who's been out for a while now. She is back out. She was warming up with the team, but she wasn't in a libero jersey. So we're going to have to watch and see what's going on with that for the rest of this match. But also Ellie Gusser, Darcy Hilliard, Brianna Reynolds, they all have kills already in this game, and quite a few. So we're going to go ahead and keep an eye on the score tonight. You guys.
Well, I cut out a little bit there, Jessica, but from what I heard about that, it looks like if they get the serving up, they're going to be able to win that game. And if they will, they have a 13-6 record, which will help them in the Mountain West. The Rams will be playing against the struggling Utah State Aggies this Saturday at 7 in the evening. Well, that's all the time I have for today for esports, but Make sure to check CTV Sports on Twitter to keep updated on the CSU hockey game tonight with face-off starting at 8:30, which I will be at. So if you see me, say hi. But don't leave just yet. Up next, we have Colin Sanders coming up with some entertainment.
They told me a bottle couldn't dream. That I would never become a superhero. But I learned how to fly. Just to come back in a new disguise. And be the hero that I've always wanted to be.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Welcome back, Rams. I'm Colin Sanders, and tonight's entertainment has it all. If you thought fraternities were all just beer bong and parties, then you'd be wrong, because this past week, Omega Psi Phi has experienced an amazing opportunity with an open seminar titled Black Love. The seminar gave the fraternity a chance to really connect to each other and open up about what it is like living in a white predominant area. This seminar really helped students connect and form relationships between the Northern Colorado community as well as each other. With fraternity recruitment just ending, Omega Psi Phi is starting off on the right foot. Are you a college student who deals with homework, jobs, annoying roommates, no parking at CSU, and 50 other possible things that could go wrong in your day-to-day life? Then your mental health has probably taken a beating. Well, no need to worry, because yesterday, October 9th, marks National Health Day, and the CSU Health Network wants to inspire people to reach out for counseling and guidance with any number of services the health center offers, including individual therapy sessions to group discussions. Also, for a reminder to CSU students that have forgotten, thanks to lovely student fees, we get 5 free counseling sessions a semester, so we might as well use them. I know I was a fool to think I could get through college without needing therapy. Gee, was I wrong. Last night, CSU had a very funny celebrity visit us for homecoming weekend at the Homecoming Comedy Show. Last night, CSU's Ram Events had a homecoming comedy show that was truly memorable, as the Saturday Night Live comedian Sashir Zameda spoke some really relatable comedy to the students.
Being sure that we're getting the student voice for all the comedians we bring, and that's kind of what we did here with Sashir, is really figuring out that she was someone who CSU community wanted to see.
CSU students came to the show to create all sorts of different memories or bonds.
I trust the CSU event team to put on really community building events, and there's nothing like getting together with a whole bunch of people, and even my club is fairly new, so it's a lot of people that don't really know each other right now, but coming into that space and getting to know each other over a couple good laughs, you know?
But I was like,
We welcome anyone to come to this. It's free for everyone. I know we have a number of people here who are not CSU students, who may be alumni or not, but we do not, especially for this event, make it exclusive to anyone, because we want to be very clear that it's for homecoming and it's about bringing people together.
And thank you so much for coming. I'm excited to be here.
Ram Events will be hosting a number of other events in the future for anyone who wants to attend. That was a real hoot and a half for sure. You can stay up to date with other Ram Events through any of their social media platforms at Ram Events CSU. All right, Queens, it's that time of year again, with the 2018 Prism Fall Drag Show is taking place this year. On October 21st, the show will be held in the Laurie Student Center Grand Ballroom, because a queen deserves nothing less. The show will be from 6 to 9 p.m. and doors open at 5. Prism says the theme will be throwback, so you can all go and experience the 90s through the 60s. The show will also have the famous Peppermint from Season 9 of RuPaul's Drag Race as the star of the show. Yes! But do not worry if you can't make it, because there will be another one in the spring. All right, Rams, unfortunately, midterm season is upon us. However, so is fall, which is a nice way to help us CSU students stay calm, cool, and collected during this troubling time. A couple of ways that are said to be helpful are as follows. Think about Thanksgiving. We're almost there, Rams, and it's just around the corner, and after a few tests, it'll be on our doorsteps. Another tip is to stay connected to friends. It's important to take those mental health breaks and relax with the people that matter the most. Be confident in what you know also. We've all been in class long enough to know what's going on. So trust yourself. We're all smart cookies. And lastly, buy some fuzzy socks because you never need a reason to have them. However, if you feel like your toes need a hug in the start of this cold season, now's the time to get a nice pair of fuzzy socks. All right, Rams, that's all the time I have for you tonight. Don't forget to tune in next week. I'm Colin Sanders, and I wish you a wonderful homecoming weekend and a good night.